Missing already had a desire to hear when she married Qing Guang, and Qing Guangdo was so happy that she was depressed. So whose child belongs to? Could it be Liu Hong? When he took office, he had few entourages. His mother raised ice at Wanhua shop. When he uploaded it in Hangzhou, he had only 3 people in the first place. Let's not talk about the old saying, missing is Qing Xiang's daughter, at least she has to take her to punish her. If you don't mention the danger you will encounter if you run slowly on a long road. But why didn't Qing Xiang send someone to run away? He directly took the thief Liu Hong Libio and sent it to the secret camp festival. Liu Hong and Li Biao took the initiative to pick it up. Is it a coincidence to get this message on? He brought Chuandu to the south bank and restored Chuanyu to the hall. He walked through Guanrui's level and took Guanpin and Miss Tong to Jiangzhou. Oh, my idea, when I was on the shore, 2 people did it together, but when I went to be an official, Liu Hong became an official alone. Here, Biao continued to be his master. Why is the difference so big? This is a typical person from the Pianjuan. Why would Li Biao accept this arrangement? Is Liu Hong really just a master? It continues to be inferred that Liu Hong's killing into Guanrui was not an accident but had planned it long ago. The latter one also entered 3 times. First, the killer of the family and the other ones beat Guanrui and pushed the hand into the water. The lady beat her husband to death and turned into a waterfall. Liu Hong rushed to the lady. If you follow me, you will take the rest of everything. If you don't follow me, you will take 1 to 2 steps. The lady thought about Wu Ji and had to make all of them go smoothly. Liu Hong said something that a lady said was very interesting, 1 to 2 paragraphs. There are 2 ways to understand this sentence. That is, he threatened a lady and wanted to see him in half. The second was to have only 1 to 2 relationships. Combined with the previous reasoning, Miss Yin and Liu Hong have feelings. This is in line with Lu's level and can perfectly explain all the abnormal behaviors of Miss Yin. Therefore, Liu Hong and Miss Yin had a relationship with each other, and the child that the lady was pregnant was Liu Hong. At this point, we can finally speak such a story. A young lady and Liu Hong fell in love and became pregnant with drums, but because of the huge gap in choosing books, they were unwilling to admit their relatives because of imaging. Later, a young lady and Liu Hong failed to run away. In order to cover up the family treacherous, she planned to give her daughter a quick trip. Marrying Liu Hong would definitely not be able to marry Liu Hong. A young lady suggested that she would not marry Liu Hong, but she had to marry a new customer and complained. So, because of the image, she thought about the wonderful season of throwing her sleeves. A lady practiced the ball well at home, and Qing Guanrui was very busy. Qing Guanrui, a gentleman in the grade, was fully equipped with Shishuan. Since I was busy entering the moving room, I didn't realize that I had washed it as a dish. The next day, Qing Guanrui was sent to Jiangzhou. The reason why Qing Guanrui was assigned to Jiangzhou was that imaging must have been due to time. It was the first lady who convinced his father to send him and Qing Guanrui to Jiangzhou, and Yinta had to take fewer entourages. Liu Hong set out from Chang'an in advance and went to Hangzhou Duku to carry out hatred. Liu Hong held the gifts and killed people as soon as Qing Guanrui arrived and replaced Qing Guanrui. Everything went very smoothly, and Liu Hong took the doctor to Jiangzhou and got in. From the doctor's plea to Qing Guanrui's death, all this was a bad situation between Liu Hong and the doctor. Qing Guanrui even imaging is their flag, with only one purpose, which is to pursue their love. After learning about all this, I had no choice but to protect his daughter. He chose to wrap coins. Everything is clear, because the imaging makes my daughter look for something to look for. Because of imaging, he was eager to release Qing Guanrui out to prevent his pregnant daughter from giving birth to the child in Chang'an. Don't you know Qing Guangru's death because of imaging? If there is no secret help from imaging, how could Liu Hong be safely able to do 18 years of custody? Perhaps, because of the imaging, he did not want to kill Qing Guanrui, but for his own daughter, he deliberately concealed the truth. The doctor's suicide in the end was indeed to get into the doctor, but this doctor was not Qing Guanrui but her dead husband Liu Hong. Because the lady really loves is not Qing Guanrui, who is so full of grudges, but Liu Hong, who has lived with her for 18 years. If you follow such a story and a script, everything becomes so reasonable, but it is more intentional. If Tang Xing was really the flesh of Liu Hong and Miss Medical, why did they kill Tang Xing? The problem lies in Tang Xing's birth process. Just say that one day, Liu Hong's examination came out, the lady was in her teeth, and Si Lian's mother-in-law and husband sighed in the garden. Suddenly, my body was in a trap and the pain was in the middle of my body. I was restless on the ground and gave birth to a dream. When ordinary people give birth to children, the process of scolding is painful. Now the lady actually wrote it on the spot by director Yun. The child came out by himself. There are people leaping around, and the Tang Dynasty Jiang squad was helpless and the new army was writing about the special gifts and gifts of the special gifts, and the life of a day is far greater than a single stroke. If you stay in the words of avoiding harm, how to protect yourself. For example, after getting the Dragon King to ask for it, the couple will meet the mother and the members of the group, and the blood is in full swing. There is a sunny day, and the tight season is speechless. Go quickly, go quickly. It is hard to reach Xinjuan, so I told 2 key clues. The first is that this child is Guanyin Songzi. Your lady ignored the confusion and gave birth to this child. So he will definitely suspect that the child is his own. Second, this child will kill Liu Hong in the future and stir-fry for success. It is hard to say something about us, isn't it, just to tell a lady that Tang Xing will kill his parents when he grows up. The first lady has been around for a night today, and she will be thrown into the river tomorrow, and Liu Hong agrees. The next day, he was just going out and a lady acted according to the original plan. Liu Hong was not worried that a lady would hide her child privately, which means that the 2 people had formed a tacit understanding, and the child could not be kept in any case. So is Tang Xing's stockings? It's really not. A young lady looked at his words carefully, as if she was like her husband. Your business is like a tile that turns into a light, and your mother-in-law hurts Tang with a small blow. You are my grandson, and Cha and Wa's son Qing Guangrui, describing War. This little Tang Xing looks exactly the same as Qing Guangrui, and even the sound is the same, so Tang Xing is definitely not Liu Hong's flesh, but the problem lies here. Where did the child in this young lady's belly go? Why did the child she gave birth to was not Liu Hong's son, but Qing Guangrui's son? It really seems to be here, the 4 words Guanyin gives birth to children. Tang Xing was sent by Guanyin, not born by Miss Yi. When Tang Xing, who looks exactly like Qing Guangrui, appears in front of Miss Tsai, the language he used 18 years ago really changes. The only choice for the First Lady is to comply with the fate of the new army and seek help from a skilled imaging father to let her son. Tight money, find Mr. Cheng. Missing knew that Qing Guangrui's death could not be hidden and Liu Hong could not be saved, but he could still save his own father. Facing Yuan Liar's grandson, the image must be golden. It's hard to say whether I'm happy or not. Master Xiang could tell this at a glance. From Long to Men, it seemed that he could no longer hide it. Therefore, it was not too late and I decided to personally eliminate them and make them red. At the end of the story, Xiang is the leader, and the 60,000 Yuling army is about to be destroyed by Liu Hong. I am afraid it is not just Liu Hong who he wants to kill, but all the people who know the truth. Looking at everything now, is it much more reasonable? There is logic behind Miss Ying's behavior. But, have we really found the truth of the matter? There is another person, and that is the deliberate Zhang. Zhang was the elder of Qing Guangrui's mother. Because she was ill, she stayed in Wanghua Palace and let Qing Guangrui Qiu take over later. It was indeed 18 years until Tang Xing came to know her grandma when she grew up. And in these 18 years, this Zhang family actually became a beggar for 18 years. There is a former son who is really begging for food. Can't he go to Jiangzhou to seek refuge in the sky? Don't forget, he can also look for his own in-laws. The mayor of Wanhua Palace, why don't you take this opportunity to tie up with the old lady and send someone to investigate, even if it's just to report to customs? Do you really want to let this old lady stay in her shop without paying rent for 3 years? How can Wudong explain all this? This Lin Jiashu has been traveling for a long time and has become corrupt behind his back.